Hello, welcome to the Learning Relationally Toolkit as part of the Greater Phoenix Regional Center of Expertise on Education for Sustainable Development. Relationality assumes that relationships, instead of individuals, are the foundation of reality. Relational learning is an alternative to the sage on the stage model of teaching in which teachers hold all the knowledge and transfer it down to students. Instead, relationality emphasizes horizontal connections, interactions, and interdependencies inside and outside the classroom. I am David Manuel Navarrete, Associate Professor in Sustainability. I have learned about relationality from indigenous scholars and co-producing sustainability solutions with indigenous people from the Ecuadorian Amazon. Sustainability education is based on problem solving, but solution-oriented learning is not easy to implement in a classroom. We need to change our dominant learning mindsets, and relationality provides new ways of thinking and being that can foster this mindset change. As white settlers living in Arizona, we're eager to contribute to decolonizing Western education by making room for diverse ways of knowing and challenging dominant models.
I am Brian Grant, a PhD student in the School of Sustainability, an educator, and father of 2 young children. My academic work and teaching experience revolves around sustainability education and relational models that emphasize diverse ways of knowing, creativity, and spirituality. Another important person who worked on this project is Jillian Meehan, and she is a Master of Sustainability Solutions student at ASU, working towards starting a career in the increasingly important and growing field of sustainability. This toolkit has 2 main purposes. The first one is to provide a gateway to approach relationality as a new learning mindset. We are adopting the metaphor of playing in the sandbox to highlight that relational learning is a student-centered approach that promotes creativity, exploration, collaboration, adaptability, and vulnerability. The second purpose is to offer a set of easy-to-implement activities. We call them sandbox games that can support both relational learning and learning about relationality in formal education settings.
Pluriversality is the perspective that there are many realities and many ways to learn about them. Do we live in a universe or a pluriverse? Have you heard of pluriversality before? We would like to show the connection between relational and pluriversal thinking and provide tools to link them. There is no relationality without pluriversality. Both require a level of open-mindedness and open-heartedness that formal Western education is not currently encouraging. Relationality is much more than thinking about or focusing on relationships, which is important, but it's much more than that. It's about bridging diverse knowledge systems, which requires being humble and acknowledging there are many equally valuable ways of knowing the world. And these many ways of knowing are the outcome of how we relate to others, including non-human beings, and the environment broadly conceived.
This toolkit itself entails a series of sandboxes where students can practice developing relational learning. The first sandbox plays with the ways of relating to each other within the classroom through a community manifesto. This is a game that nurtures horizontal relationships. The second sandbox is about relational approaches to learning inspired by indigenous knowledges. The practices include reflections on our own origins and relationships with our ancestors and the land. The third sandbox offers two-eyed seeing as a practice to experience the pluriverse. The last sandbox invites playing with art and creativity to develop relational ways of teaching and learning through the creation of a relational web. Two-eyed seeing is an indigenous concept, and we've included two-eyed seeing in our toolkit as a way to experience the pluriverse. The activity asks you to take your students to a natural area somewhere where there is plant life, and we ask you to identify their common names, their scientific names, as well as botanical information that we know about these plants. That would be one eye. The second eye is where we ask you to actually engage with these plants, so touching the leaves, feeling the leaves, listening to the plants, smelling them, and really building a relationship in that way that goes a little bit beyond just knowing a name. We come to see them as more than just an object that we study, but also as a being that can offer us knowledge and experience us as we experience it, which is incredibly valuable for sustainability.
We hope that this toolkit from RCE Greater Phoenix helps you to achieve your sustainability education goals and to nurture our local and global learning communities on solutions towards sustainability transformations. Good luck!